Hey, hey, hey. I'm your girl, your cousin, your sister, your niece, your neighbor, your friend, Terry Joe, and this is the Wife Circle. Today, I have a special treat for you. I have Miss Jody Winstead. She's a 20 plus year medical professional, and she's coming today to talk to us about women's health. This is February, and then, everybody talks about heart health, but I think just in general, we want to be more conscious about having better health as we mature in age. Hmm. So, do me a favor, share this on your feed, invite your sister friends to come and join us, and let us know what questions you may have for Miss Jody. So, Miss Jody, welcome to the Wife Circle.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in healthcare for 32 years, and I'm going to leave it there and keep saying 32 for a few more years. I've been teaching for 15 years in medical assisting programs, teaching others what I knew so that they can take over where I left off. I'm a mother of 4, grandmother of 10, and a wife.
And a super wife. A super wife. Miss Jody is so sweet. So she's my colleague in my professional field of higher education. And so she's so knowledgeable. She teaches some really good classes here. But I brought her in so we could talk a little bit about your health. So tell me, because the bulk of the ladies that are a part of this network are ages 35 and up.
Okay.
So we have some ladies that are still in their childbearing years. We have
Okay.
some that are in the menopause years. I'm
Okay.
getting close to the menopause. I've started having symptoms
Menopause
already.
is great. That's all I have to say.
But what is it about menopause? What is it about how our bodies change as we grow from the childbearing to the 20s to 30s to the 40s, 50s, and beyond?
Well, the main focus would be on hormone.
Mm-hmm.
So, hormone for the female is going to dictate a lot of things, a lot of different things,
Mm-hmm.
emotion, how you just generally feel in your body. So, when you still have your cycle or your menses, you're going to have that up and down flux of hormone in and out, female hormone, every month. So sometimes you don't necessarily, even the most healthy person psychologically could feel some kind of flux emotionally through a 30-day period. However, when you go through menopause, all the way through and finish with menopause.
All the way through.
All the way
How long is the
through.
process,
The
Lord?
process is different for every woman. Some women will menopause early because they have had female surgeries, such as their uterus removed or their ovaries removed. If they had their ovaries removed, they would have an immediate menopause. If they still have their ovaries, they may still have fluxes of female hormone. However, when you go through menopause between the ages of usually 50 to 60, and it's different for every woman. I have a friend who is near 60 years old and she still has not menopaused.
Wow.
And some don't. And it is not dictated by the time at which you started your cycle.
Okay.
So some women will start, young women will start at, 10, 11, 12 years old, and some start at 13. That does not dictate when you're going to menopause.
Okay.
Generally speaking, it's different for everybody.
It's different. Okay. Well, I had my first experience when I was in the 5th grade.
Yes.
And
that's a lot, and it's a lot on it is a lot on the primary female. It really is a lot to go through because you're not emotionally ready for that kind of thing generally to happen. But it happens a lot, and we get through it, and hopefully we have female mentors in our life that can kind of help us through that process.
So when it comes to our health as women, because of course our bodies are made different than men, and tell us what are some things that we could do as women
Mm,
who are maturing in age, to have better blood flow,
mm.
to have better urine flow, and to poop better? Because there
Yeah,
are still
it
some
is
ladies who are
important.
not
It is
pooping
important.
regularly.
And all of those functions of the human body are very important that they are, happening in a timely fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So for bowel movements, you should be having a bowel movement every day, if not every other day.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes longer than that, you need to look at your dietary intake.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So that means not, if you eat McDonald's, every day, you might need to cut back.
and you could consider cutting out gluten, which
Mm.
I've done the past, let's see, probably month and a half. And I'm telling you, it has been remarkable.
Really? So
Remarkable.
what? Well, okay. So you need to poop at least every day. Is there a particular amount that you need to poop
Well,
every day?
it's funny, and you can Google Dr. Oz's video on poop, on bowel movement, and it should have a consistency to it. It
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be too watery, or it shouldn't be too mushy. It should be solid, but
Mm-hmm.
not to where you were stressing
Mm-hmm.
or pushing too hard to get your bowel movement
Straining.
out. Yeah, that's
Okay.
not good for you either, or the
Mm-hmm.
heart.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
Yeah. Oh, really? It's not good for the heart when you're.
Not if you're pushing really, really hard. People have been known to faint while they were on the toilet. So
Wow.
you don't want to do that either. It should be an easy process.
Maybe that
And
was what was wrong with Elvis, because when he died, he was
it's possible.
on the
Who
toilet
knows? But he
pooping.
took a lot of opiate type of medication, and
Mm-hmm.
that can back everything up and
Mm-hmm.
make it more difficult to have a bowel movement. So,
Mm.
opiates are another issue.
Mm-hmm.
If one is doing a lot of that kind of thing, then they
Mm-hmm.
need to
Mm-hmm.
relook at that and talk to their medical doctor.
So how can a person have better blood flow?
Well, exercise.
Exercise is
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a few blood clots actually,
Mm-hmm.
and COVID wasn't helpful with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had asked my primary care doctor, "What can I exercise? Should I be getting up even during the time that I still had the clot?" And
Mm-hmm.
the answer is absolutely. Move your body. Move your
Move your body.
body. Drink water. Water, water, water. If you're not going to drink water, drink some kind of good, healthy liquid,
Mm-hmm. But
Even
water is
seltzers. Water is the
more
best.
important though.
It's the most
Yeah.
important thing. And so, because blood is mainly water and then some cells. So,
So like oil is to a car, water is to your blood.
very much.
It helps because when I have to go to the doctor, they're always going to take blood.
Yes.
And so the first thing they say is, "Have you drank water this morning?" Because
Yes.
when you have that water in your system, it helps your blood flow much
Oh, yes.
easier.
And that's why people will say, well, I have difficult veins when they draw my blood at the doctor's office. Well, it's generally because you're dehydrated.
Mm-hmm. You're not drinking
Your
enough
veins
water.
are fine. Everybody has the same veins.
Mm-hmm. But you just don't drink
You
enough
don't drink
water.
enough water. Plump those veins up before you go to have your annual blood work and
Mm-hmm.
things like that done.
And so, how can a woman urine better?
Water again.
Water, water, water.
You're water again. And you need to make sure that if you are having any kind of constriction or difficulty urinating, and you know that you've drank water, that that dictates going back to the doctor again, because that's not good either.
Mm-hmm.
Because urine, you don't want urine to stay in your body. It needs to come out because
out.
it's filtered water. And so if you never changed your filter
Mm-hmm.
in your refrigerator,
Mm-hmm.
and it would just trickle,
Mm-hmm.
something's going on there. You need to get that looked at so that you are flowing naturally.
You have to flow.
You have to flow.
Okay, so as our bodies are maturing, not aging, but maturing, we're like fine
Let's
wine.
use that.
Yes, so we have
fine wine.
Body maturity, fine wine. As our bodies mature, as fine wine,
yes,
we experience changes. Now, I am not blessed to be a mom.
Okay.
So I have not experienced my womb expanding and giving birth or anything like that. But I was looking at a show this morning, a morning news show, and they were talking about a particular celebrity. Her last name starts with K, and she talked about how she had such a struggle with the postpartum. And
Yes.
so we do have some ladies that are in their childbearing years, and
Mm.
postpartum depression can lead to
Yes.
withdrawing, deep sadness,
Yes.
not really wanting to be involved with your child,
Yes.
thoughts of suicide. So, what are some ways that women can combat postpartum?
Right. And so I've had experience with that secondhand. My
Mm.
daughter-in-law had a difficult time with that, unbeknownst to all of us, because she
Wow.
is an introvert. And
Okay.
so she kept all of her feelings inside of her, which was very sad for our family when we found out that she had been dealing with that for a good year. It
Wow.
was difficult. Yes, she continued mothering and doing all the things that she was supposed to, but unbeknownst to us, her sadness was due to her hormonal imbalance. Her body didn't flux all the way back the way it needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So it had nothing to do with her ability to love her baby or her love for her baby or even
Mm-hmm.
her love for herself.
Mm-hmm.
She's a what they call a yogi. So has always done yoga, and she's a very
Oh,
calm person. So nobody
okay.
really paid any
Mm.
attention, thinking, well, this is a very centered person.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true. We need to be really aware of our young mothers after they give birth, really keeping in touch with them and asking them, how do you feel? How do you really feel? Are things going okay? Do you feel like you're bonding okay
Mm-hmm.
with your baby? Do you need help?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We need to be there, not just expect that people give birth and they know everything to do, because they do not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Um, so okay, now you talked about something about the snapback, the body coming back.
Mm.
And some women, go all out and have, the extreme makeover.
Mm-hmm.
They may go under the knife after they've, the baby pooch doesn't go
Mm-hmm.
away or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But you have to, as you're growing and maturing, you have to love your body because
Yes.
it's going to continue to change as
Yes.
you grow. So, what are some, because you're a woman in your
60s.
60s.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm a woman in my mid 40s.
Yes.
So, how have you worked towards having a better physique? You said you gave up gluten.
I gave up gluten
Mm-hmm.
about close to 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've always struggled in my adult life
Mm-hmm.
with my weight,
Okay.
having children and letting all those things, get in the way in life. So, eating is yummy and I love food. Food is lovely.
Food is good,
But you
especially if
have
it's
to, if I
with a
could go
good
back
person.
in time, I
Mm-hmm.
would probably tell women that when you reach about age 50, you better to it. Get to it, lose the weight, start exercising, take care of your body, and then give yourself those reward days.
Mm-hmm.
I know there is just a myriad of information on the
Mm-hmm.
internet as far as, well, what kind of diet should I do,
Mm-hmm.
and all of this. Balance is the key.
Balance,
Balance
yeah.
is the key. Slow and steady wins the race.
Mm-hmm.
It will take me until next year to see my fruition. So, but
Yeah.
that's okay. I have friends who do diets that will take them down to where they need to be in half that time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that. So at about age 50, you better make a choice
Yeah.
and then start making a life choice for
Mm-hmm.
your dietary, and just eat healthy and
Mm-hmm.
find out the things that cause inflammation in your body and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. Yeah.
So, one of the things that I've learned is that the older you get,
Mm-hmm.
you start to lose muscle mass.
Oh yes, very
So
much.
women, especially women, we have to really do weightlifting, light weightlifting for our.
Actually, weightlifting
Yeah.
is better than aerobics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And walking is just as good as being a runner.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually better for you because you're not going to ruin your
Really?
knees.
Yes.
Like
So
Mrs.
wait.
Winstead
Let's say
did.
that again.
Yeah.
Weightlifting is better than aerobics.
Yes. For older women.
For older women, and walking is as better than running.
It's just as good, if
Mm-hmm.
not better,
Mm-hmm.
because at some point you're going to have some kind of degeneration in your joints. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk primarily knees. Not everybody, but this is just a fact of life.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to take care of that is more exercise, but lighter exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everything in life is a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in life is a balance. So don't overdo it. 3 times a day, 30 minutes, 3
Mm-hmm.
times a day walking is enough.
Okay.
As long as you're watching all those other things,
Yeah.
like don't overeat. If you're hungry, keep
Mhm.
things around that are healthy
Mhm.
to make you not be hungry
Mhm.
anymore.
So one of the things that I've done is because, um, of course, as I started getting older, I started noticing my body is changing, my
Hmm.
metabolism changing, and
Yes.
I've always been a plump, pleasantly plump girl growing
Right.
up. I've never been, the thin girl, but I've
Hmm.
always been pleasantly plump growing up. And so one of the things that I had to do as I maturing in my age was, make better eating
Oh
choices.
yeah.
And so um, I started substituting.
Hmm.
So like um, I love Mediterranean food,
Hmm.
but I don't like smelling like a garlic factory.
Right. If I were not married, Terry, I would eat garlic every day. Every day if I could just stay home. But we can't. We don't want to do that. It's
Yeah.
not bad for you if you do that. More power to you. But I don't think my husband would appreciate it. But it is good for you. Garlic is very good for you.
Hmm.
When you're talking about substitutions, you can do things like, and I know this is going to sound crazy because it's all over the internet, but spaghetti squash is a God-given thing.
Now I don't
Okay.
like spaghetti squash, so
I love it.
yeah, it has. I just
Yeah.
haven't acquired that taste for
And I
spaghetti
just
squash yet.
discovered it. That's the weird thing.
Really.
I never did before. I keep seeing all of these cooks use it, and I'm like, huh, isn't that interesting?
Hmm.
But I never did it until recently.
Hmm.
And I love the sauces that
Hmm.
go on top of pasta, and I
Hmm.
love pasta
Hmm.
and potatoes
Hmm.
and bread.
I love French fries.
I love French
I
fries. I
love
love them.
freshly cooked French
French
fries.
fries, like from Five Guys, those are great. But listen,
French fries from Chick-fil-A.
French fries from anywhere, girl. I'll
Well,
take it
no,
from
not
anywhere.
anywhere.
Pretty
Because I
much.
don't like the BK fries, but
Yeah.
the Ronald McDonald fries,
Oh my,
hot and
telling
fresh,
you.
no salt.
Yeah, I know. Delicious.
Yeah.
But they don't do us a favor. Now,
I
let's
know.
say like every 3 months you say, I'm going to treat myself to some French fries.
Hmm.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel guilty and you should sit there and nibble on every single one of them.
Hmm.
But to have them every week, every day,
Yeah, that's not healthy at all.
it's just it's not good. It's
Now,
not good.
because so I told you I made some health changes. So one of
Hmm.
the things was is I bring my own snacks to work
Yes.
because I don't want to go to that overpriced vending machine with the little
Hmm.
bag of chips that's
Yes.
$1.25.
Guilty. Guilty.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put some snacks in your office.
I know.
So what I do is when I go grocery shopping, I buy the bag of nuts that say omega three.
Yes.
So it has
The
the
100
mixture.
calorie ones.
Yeah. Or
Yes.
the little snack packs. I'll
Yes.
buy those.
Very good
So I
for
keep that
you.
in my desk.
Yes.
For my snack, I'll bring blueberries,
Yes.
strawberries, raspberries, because berries are very good for your glycemic. They're very
Very
good
good
for
for
your
you.
glucose.
Yes.
Um, I tried. I discovered roasted chickpeas. They sell them at Aldi,
Yes.
and they're
Yes.
like a barbecue flavor, and they're really really
They're
good. Now
really
chickpeas
delicious.
is a acquired taste, but I've really
Right.
come to love
Right.
like eating chickpeas, and I love hummus also.
Yeah.
I eat lots of avocado,
Yes.
and there's this one doctor that I follow online. His name is Dr. Mandel, and he has like these 1 to 5 minute quick videos, and he
Yes.
does this elixir, and I started doing it every day. It's um 100% olive oil. You
Okay.
have to really be careful when you buy olive oil because a lot
Yes.
of it is mixed with
Yes.
canola oil or some other kind of oil, so it has to say 100% olive oil on the back. I read ingredients on
And
everything.
preferably unfiltered.
Unfiltered, exactly. So it has a tablespoon of or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a teaspoon of honey, um, fresh squeezed lemon,
Lemon.
and
Hmm.
cayenne pepper, and I mix it
Yes.
up. I put it in a shot glass.
Yes.
I'll put it in a shot glass.
Yes.
um, why do I have a shot glass in my house? I'll tell you, because my ex-husband drank out of shot glasses, and
Okay.
that's all you need to know. But he did, not me.
Yeah.
But he left his shot glass there with the word Jamaica on it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
anywho, I put it in a shot glass
Yes.
and I toss it back, and I do it
Yes.
in the morning and in
Yeah.
the evening because it's good for your heart, your joints,
Everything.
all that stuff. All the helps to burn fat.
Yep.
The cayenne pepper helps to burn the fat. The lemon does. It's good for your kidney filter. And that little
It's
elixir,
also good for inflammation, the cayenne.
yes.
Hmm.
So I do that little elixir twice a day, once in the
Yes.
morning, once in the evening. And I could tell the difference when I have
Yeah.
not
Done it.
done it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people will do turmeric and lemon shots as well.
Hmm.
Turmeric is
Oh,
very good for
yeah.
you, but you should add that pepper in there because the pepper helps us absorb that
Hmm.
turmeric, as I
Hmm.
understand from my sister.
Black pepper.
Yep.
Black pepper.
Black
Yeah,
pepper.
black pepper and turmeric does help you to absorb it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about medications because
Mm.
there's a pill for everything now. I
Yes.
mean, shucks. When I was a kid growing up, my mom didn't give us a lot of
Yep.
medication. My parents used a lot of home remedies
Right.
when we were sick, and my mom is still a firm believer in taking an
Yes.
aspirin. She will not take Tylenol.
Yes.
I'm going to take an aspirin
Look
and I'll
at
be okay.
and mothers, back when I was raising my children, Vapor Rub cured everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you just smear it all over your
Vicks Vapor
child,
Rub is
all over
everywhere.
your child.
Yes.
Okay, and your child gets better. But listen, medication is a funny thing. Again, like I said, everything in life is balance.
Yeah.
So don't stay away from medications that will help you with certain things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a problem, see your provider. But I will tell you, there are so many homeopathic ways that we can take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing wrong with going to your homeopathic store. I'm not from Nashville originally. I don't know which stores you have. We had Sunshine Foods. They have all of the, what do you call them, natural,
Yeah.
or go to a natural path
Mm-hmm.
provider.
You have Sprouts. You have
Yes. Oh, so many things.
Whole
I just
Foods.
grew my
Yeah.
own sprouts, by the way, my own alfalfa sprouts
Mm.
in mason jars. There's a
Okay.
whole process.
Cool.
And they grew, and I'm going
Cool.
to eat them today. And sprouts are wonderful for your body. But for as far as medication goes, there are things that, dictate that we have to take medication.
Mm-hmm.
Depression. Don't wait on that. If you are having those issues, go see your provider. There are medications that can help.
But exercise is good for depression
Exercise
also.
is
Yeah.
exercise is good for everything.
Yeah.
Everything. But sometimes people will get in that place where they just can't even move. They want to, but they cannot move. It's
Mm-hmm.
time to see your provider.
Yeah.
And then medication becomes very important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some things that we need to take our medication for, thyroid disease or any kind of female issues, So there are some times, but my first go-to is homeopathic.
Yeah, I think God created the earth with everything that
Wonderful
man
things.
needs. There's a scripture that says that there's healing for the nation in the earth. So everything
Yes.
that we need for our bodies is
Mhm.
in the earth. And I do
Yeah.
believe, one, if we can control our health by what we put in our mouths.
Yes.
So if we, taper off on not eating those French fries every day or having that piece of cake
Yeah.
or ice cream after you've had a dinner.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've done is I don't eat after 5 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
because what are you doing after 5 p.m.? I'm already sitting all day
Yes.
at work, unless I'm up teaching. But after 5 p.m., they're sitting in front of the TV or
Yeah.
they're not very active after 5
Right.
p.m. So one of the things is that I don't eat after 5 p.m. I work out at night because it helps me to sleep better when I work out at night.
Yeah.
And I take vitamins. I do zinc, omega-3, because omega-3 is good for so many things. It's good for your joints. It's good for your glucose levels. It's good for and omega-3 is actually a blood thinner also.
Yeah.
So if you're taking blood thinners, you have to be careful with that. But and again, talk with your doctor. But I take lots of vitamins to help because one of the things is that I was diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and endometriosis. So the doctor put me on some medication, and I started having some reactions to the medication, and so the reaction though let me know that the dosage was too high.
Yeah.
And so I told my doctor, so she lowered the dosage.
Yeah.
And with that, I was able to function a little better.
Yeah.
But I think I saw a special. I think it's I saw it on Netflix where it talked about how Americans are so over medicated.
Yeah.
And so there are so many things that we could do to reduce the amount of chemicals that we're putting in our bodies by doing vitamins,
Yep.
exercising, cutting back on fried foods, carbohydrates, things like that, eating more fresh vegetables,
Yep.
have a smoothie for without the sugar,
Yep.
but have a smoothie for breakfast instead of going to McDonald's and getting that
Yep.
meal. Um, Now, and I love those cold coffees.
All that sugar.
I love them.
All that
But see, if I get a cold coffee,
yeah.
I don't like gulp it down. I'll sip it, and
Yeah.
it takes me like almost 2 days to drink it
Oh
because
my goodness,
yes,
Terry.
because because it's so sweet. So my palate has
Yeah.
really, really changed.
Yeah.
So, what are some good health tips as a medical professional, 30 plus years in the field?
She had to say it.
Yes.
She had to say it.
What can you give to encourage ladies to not just do the self-care, because everybody talks about self-care is health, is self-love and all that. When people talk about self-care, they always talk about getting their nails done, their hair done, and makeup, and dressing up. That's all great, because when you look good, you feel good.
That's right.
But if your insides are not good,
yeah,
you really don't feel
well
good.
it really starts, Terry, in the mind. Okay, you really have to have a strong mindset, ready for change. Some people like to journal or make a list, like these are my goals.
So journaling. And you could pick up my journal on Amazon. Hello, beautiful. Discover the beauty of life. It's available on Amazon for $6.95. Yes. So journaling. What else?
Journaling. So you want to start there. Change your mindset and then begin. And with the simplest things, make little changes. Little changes turn into big changes. Wait for those little changes to become a habit. It takes 21 days to create a habit. So do that one thing for 21 days and then just push yourself through that and keep going and say, this is a part of me. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drink enough water every day.
So start journaling, create a new habit, and stick to it.
Stick to it. Do it for at least 21 days. I promise you. You can make a habit in 21 days, good or bad. So begin there. And then just, write down all the changes that you want to be. Your first goal, your second goal. Make the goals little at first. I don't say, I want to lose 80 pounds in 6 months. No. I just want to make sure I lose something. Yes. I'm not gaining. I'm not staying the same. I'm losing. So I take those little victories as big victories.
Yes. 15 pounds down and counting. Yes. So
yes. Yeah. And I'm only 10. Yeah. Terry's ahead of me.
That's okay. But
but 10 pounds since the first of the year is 10 pounds. And you multiply that over an entire year. Yeah. And you have what you need.
Having being diagnosed with PCOS,
yes,
it can be a little bit more difficult with weight loss.
It is very difficult.
Yeah.
Cut your glutens. Yeah. Cut your glutens. Cut your glutens.
So I don't eat French fries as much as I used
to.
Don't
eat potatoes. Don't eat pasta. Don't eat
bread. White potatoes.
Don't eat white potatoes.
Yeah,
you can eat the sweet potatoes, but don't eat those starchy
bleached
things.
items. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, don't think that you can't. Oh my gosh, a little crouton fell in my salad and I ate it.
I love a crouton.
You're okay. I love garlic a good crouton. I like
garlic
to make my own. Yes, more garlic for everybody. So yeah, don't be afraid that one little crouton fell in your salad and you ate it. It's not going to hurt you, but don't overindulge in that. Do all the other things first, and then see. Oh, do you even want that piece of bread? No, you don't. Your tummy's full. You're ready to go. Yeah. So make those changes. PCOS is very specific, and I know this secondhand as well. I have a daughter with PCOS.
Okay.
And it's a struggle. It has a lot that goes with it. Your hormones are the biggest factor. So you're really going to have those fluxes. You have all kinds of things coming out of you, and pain is a very big factor and can do some very crazy things to the mind. It's not fun to live with. And then there is the whole issue of can I have children? Will I have children? I don't want children because I'm tired of this pain from my uterus. I mean, there's a whole huge dynamic to that. I mean, and we're going through it. I'm going through it live with my baby daughter at this time.
One thing I've learned about my body dealing with PCOS, when I would eat too much sugar, and that would that includes carbs,
Yes.
that's where I had the most pain.
Yes.
So the more I begin to decrease my sugar intake, carbs,
Yeah.
and that even includes things like Splenda and sweet low.
Don't put those
I don't
things in
even
your
do
body.
those. I
Yeah.
don't do those
Don't do
because
it.
those create other
And
things
eat
to happen.
salmon or
I
some
eat
kind of
lots of
fish
salmon.
at least once a week. At least once a week.
I eat salmon
Really,
at least 4 times a week.
salmon is a healing fish. It
Mm-hmm.
is. It's so very, very good for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has that
Try to
great
get
balance.
the wild caught
Yeah,
and the real red. If it looks real red,
yeah,
that's the best one. That's the
yeah.
best one for you. So yeah, eat
Mhm.
salmon. That can help. All these things can exercise, can
Mhm.
help. The struggle is real.
It
I
is
don't care
real.
how many times people have said that.
It is real.
The reality of it is really real.
So, so we need to journal.
Yeah.
Put your
Journal.
thoughts down, make goals, set the
Yes.
goals. I want to add to that, pray, because prayer is
Absolutely.
so essential to your well-being.
Yes.
It's so essential because it helps you to connect with God. Prayer helps to clear your mind. It helps you to, I just, sometimes I just want to regurgitate all of my feelings to God and just say, I'm
Yeah.
mad about this, and this,
Yes.
but I thank you for my life.
Yeah.
And thank you for giving me the ability to handle whatever I'm dealing with in my life at this
That's
time.
right.
So I
That's
think
right.
prayer is so, so, so important.
Yeah.
And prayer, it is a proven medical fact that prayer heals. There are people who have been in comas and they heard people in their room praying and they came out of
That's
those
right.
comas.
That's right.
So prayer is essential, just like water is to your blood. Prayer is essential to your body and your soul.
Yes,
What
that's
other
true.
tips can you give to ladies to help them to improve their health, especially if they're in their 40s, 50s, and beyond?
Well, we covered a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just making those goals, make sure they're not too big.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say one thing about menopausal women or perimenopausal women, women who are right around that age. They know it's coming, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to necessarily deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's mother from my generation told them everything. Some did and
Yeah.
some didn't, or we
Yeah.
were handed a book. Hey,
Yeah.
read this book.
Yeah.
This was going to happen to you. I'm like,
your
okay.
your
And I
body's gonna
did. I read
change
the book,
and you'll
Mom.
be
I read
okay.
it. But then my mother was gone, and I had nobody when I came to my menopausal age. So be ready for those hormonal changes. Don't be scared. You will bleed heavier the year before you totally menopause. And then you may even go, your emotions you may find that you're not happy emotions. You're like weepy all the time. You're crying over commercials when you're driving to work in your car. And you're like, what is going on? What is happening to me? And maybe you're a woman who cannot take estrogen replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And now what do you do? Because now you can't even put
Bring
that
back up.
level back up to where it needs to be. Don't be afraid to go to your provider again and talk to them about what's going on. There are things to get you over that hump, but once you get through that hump, it's gravy. It's great. It's just wonderful. Menopause is wonderful, other than the fact that your libido tanks. So there's a lot that women are great.
Yeah.
Women are great. We're full of dynamic. We're full of dynamic.
We're full of dynamics, but menopause causes your sexual libido to tank.
Yes.
Now
don't be afraid, because this is what happens. It tanks, but then it goes back up again. It's really weird.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it tanks.
Okay.
It will go down, and you're like, why don't I love my husband like that? You will again. You will. And it just, at that point, if you've had a long marriage, it's even easier to talk them into what needs to happen. But things just need to take time at that point. All those intimacies need to take more time, but the result is great.
So your husband needs to be patient with you.
Very patient
as you're going
time. through
this menopause.
Yes.
And you're not feeling froggy.
That's
and
froggy.
not wanting to leap.
Amorous. For the coitus. My daughters tell me, Mom, why do you have to say coitus? Can't you just say, sex? No, we're going to say coitus. It's a process. It's a process. I say embrace your female bodies and
Yeah.
embrace your femininity and your girlness, embrace all of that. God made us the way that we are, and we are very special, and he made it at every single point in our life for people to enjoy. So
Yeah.
so
have your coitus.
have your coitus. Take your time.
But wait now, okay, so let's say you're in your menopausal, your sex drive is in the toilet and has gone down the toilet drain. It's been flushed.
Bye-bye.
And you're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
What are some ways to help? Because when you're just not there, you're not there.
When you're not there, you're not there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you remember at that point when you were young, you're like, why aren't I like going after it? Sometimes when I was young, I'd think at work, I need my husband, and I would go home and I would get my husband. But as I got older, I'm like, Saturday? Is this Saturday? Okay, Saturday. Coitus time. Ding, ding, ding. I'm like, so you have to, literally, I have to put my mind in the mindset early on.
Okay.
I know it's Saturday.
So this is the day.
It's Saturday. I'm having my coffee. It's Saturday. I know what's coming tonight. Because men won't change that.
Yeah.
Not as much. A little bit, but not as much.
But
so I have to start early, because I said everything takes time now. I start very early telling myself, well, I love my husband and I want to give him that intimacy, that closeness, that connection. So I have to work on my own head before I get there.
So you have to encourage yourself.
Exactly.
For the coitus.
Yes, for the coitus.
For the coitus.
Coitus.
Encourage yourself.
Sounds like we're from New York.
There's a scripture in the Bible where it says David encouraged himself in the Lord. So sis, you need to encourage yourself for the coitus.
Exactly.
Because if you don't, your husband will go somewhere
else.
else.
Sad. It's sad. He may not go somewhere else.
And he may not.
And he may. But he knows what happens if he ever did. Yeah. So mine won't.
He knows.
Yeah.
You have threatened him to an inch of his life, Jody.
Oh, he knows. He knows. I carry that. An emotional one.
No,
I'm not violent.
But your husband is cooperative, and so you're getting yourself prepared emotionally and physically.
Your husband loves you. He wants that intimacy, and he needs that intimacy. That's just how men are. That's how God made them.
Yeah, they have high sex drives. Yeah,
their testosterone is still right where it belongs. Sometimes it'll lower a little bit, but it's still there. So yeah, I prepare my mind early in the day. I make myself pretty that day, because when you make yourself pretty, then you feel a little sexy. Okay. Yes. And you want to feel like that in order to see it through the night. Do the things, light the candles, have that little glass of wine if you're able to drink a little bit of wine, or whatever calms you down and puts you in that Zen sex mood. You need to do that. Think about your husband. Think about the past when you did have fun that way all the time. Think about those things. So you have to just put your mind in that place and it will come.
Encourage yourself.
Encourage yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. Put on that little something,
Put on the little something. And some music.
Oh, yes. Music. We are a very big music family. I have a lot of people in my family that have groups sing and children that play instruments and everything like that. My husband and my favorite time is the evening when we are both home and we blast our music like teenagers, and we are in our 60s.
Are you dancing?
We do all the things.
That's one of the things that I do.
I do the things.
Women. I encourage wives to turn on some music and dance with your husband. Dance until you're happy.
Yeah.
Dance until you're like falling in his arms and you're laughing and giggling like a teenager.
And it comes back, and that's what I'm saying. It just all kind of comes rolling back. And you'll have those, feelings again, and it makes it beautiful at the end of the day.
Yes.
It does work out. I promise you, it does work out.
It'll work out.
It does work out.
Encourage.
But you got to do the work to make it work out.
And there it is.
Do the work.
Do the work to make it work.
Yes.
And there it is. So listen, I hope you've enjoyed my conversation today with Miss Jody. Thank
This
you
has been a
so
blast.
much.
This has been a blast. I hope
So
you have me back.
we're gonna have you back again, and we're gonna talk about more fun stuff.
Oh my.
And so, if you have not had an opportunity to go and see your doctor, make an appointment. Get your women's checkup. Get your girl your tatas checked out. Get your mammogram. I
Yes.
get my mammogram every
Every
year,
year.
and it comes back good.
Every year. Don't be afraid to look at your bodies either in the
Yeah.
shower.
Look at yourself in the
Look at
mirrors,
yourself.
yeah.
It's okay to look.
Get
It's
your
yours.
mammogram, get your yearly, well, I don't think they do pap smear every a year now. It's what, every 2 years now?
It's every year for childbearing women,
Mhm.
and then every other year past childbearing.
Yeah,
But
so
they change that sometimes, so be aware. Ask your
yeah.
provider at what point they are with that. Mammograms too.
Mhm.
Actually, more pap smears. At one point, you won't have to necessarily have them every year. It's like every 5 years, I think it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So, yeah, get your body checked out. It's
Mhm.
absolutely important so that you can, so nothing sneaks up on you,
No.
and listen to your body. When your body is saying it's tired, rest.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're resting and you're still tired, then you might need to be a little more active,
Mm.
but go see your doctor. Take vitamins, exercise, and for the wives out there, encourage yourself
For happy coitus.
for happy coitus. And even if he has made you upset, girl, do the work so you can do the work. I'm your girl, your cousin, your sister, your niece, your neighbor, your friend, Terry Joe, and this is the Wife Circle. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Jody, and
Thank
we
you.
look forward to having you back again for another great
Thank you.
time of conversation, talk love, marriage, health, and all that other good
Thank
stuff.
you.
See you soon. God bless.
Bye.